Hi, thanks for watching this video for day treatment agency staff and their families and having an emergency disaster preparedness plan that meets the family's needs, the staff members, but also supports the day treatment agency. My name's Ray Morris. I'm with an organization called Dads for Special Kids, and we've been doing some work with helping DTAs and their staff have a plan that supports the individual clients, but also it's in relationship with other DTAs in the area that they can support each other in the event of a significant event. Because studies continue to show that if you have a disability, you have a 50% greater chance of having a negative outcome in the event of a disaster. So we want to make things better. So hopefully you've got this little book with you. It's a day staff and their families emergency disaster guidebook. You should be given one, or you can download it from our website and print it out. We're just going to go through this book real briefly. We're going to do this all, jam it down into less than 15 minutes, so I don't want to take up too much time, and I know your time's important. First of all, let me start out with thanking you for being a staff member at a DTA, and thank you for caring for the clients, the members that you work with. As a father of a adult son that goes to a DTA, I greatly appreciate you, because my son Zachary loves his DTA. He loves the people there and the staff and the other clients or consumers, and you're a very integral part of his daily activity and for him maintaining his level of independence, which is unique to him. So thank you for doing that. So start out with, there's 5 basic steps for developing an emergency disaster plan. And the 5 steps are, first one is being informed. How do you learn about an emergency or disaster? At home, smoke detector goes off, boom, you know there's a problem, or you know somebody's cooking in the kitchen. It shouldn't be. But typically when the smoke alarm goes off, that means there's a fire and you get out of the house. So you have to look at, does everybody know how to respond to that particular alert? In our home, Zachary doesn't respond to a smoke detector. He'll sit in his room doing his thing, watching Thomas the Tank Engine, Sesame Street. So we had to develop a plan that enables him to get out safely in the event there is a fire. So you need to do the same thing with you, your home, your family, to have a plan. So we call that exit drills in the home. Take time, teach your family what to do, and even practice it. Make a game out of it, and so you know how to do it properly. Also, another thing is being informed is how do you learn from, become alert from your community and your county or state of a significant event. There's different web sites you can go to. You can sign up with your cell phone to different agencies, like Maricopa County has an alert program. You go in, put your cell phone number in, and they'll send you text messages to let you know that an event's impacting the area where you're residing or where you're at. So you got to take some responsibility to reach out and find out how you can be informed, because the sooner you can be informed, the better your plan's going to work, that you can let everybody in your plan know something's going on so your loved ones can be taken care of. So the purpose of this video and this book that I created was that you have a plan that enables you, the staff member, to be at the DTA to care for that population. Okay, and that's what we're trying to do here, support you to have a plan that enables you to be at the DTA. Your DTA also wants to support you and support your plan that enables you to be at the facility to care for the population that you serve. So another part in step 1, and it's called self-disclosure, is do you have somebody in your family or in your support system that has a functional need? If you do, they can self-disclose their functional need to their local first responders. Okay, that's very important, because I know as a first responder, as an engineer paramedic, knowing information before I get on scene is very crucial. It enables me to develop my action plan of what we're going to do and how we're going to care for the event, and knowing before we get there that somebody has a mobility impairment and is unable to self-rescue himself is crucial, because we can make a plan that we know we have to go rescue somebody. We want to know that as soon as possible, so the quicker we can develop the plan, quicker we can get in, rescue the person, and get out. So in step 1 in this little guidebook talks about self-disclosure. There's a form you can fill out and take it down to your local fire department and tell them you want to self-disclose. So it talks more about that. Also in step 1 is the DTA's plan and your plan, and it's bridging those two together, and we're going to come back and talk about that in a little bit. I want to move on to step 2 is you making your plan. What do you need in your plan to enable you to be at work? Okay, who is part of your support system, and who can take care of what and doing what? So first of all, you need to identify is what are your risk factors? What are the things that your area is prevalent to? Like here in the Phoenix metro area, it's thunderstorms, power outages, and wildfires, and flash floods. Those are the big ones. Okay, so you have to look at your home. Is it prone to flash flooding? Can it be flooded? Okay, is it prone to wildfires? Not just a wildfire itself, but smoke from a wildfire. Okay, if you live in the outlying rural areas, you have a greater chance of that having a negative impact on you. So if your residence is impacted by, where you live at, is impacted by the smoke, you need to take steps of what you can do, like wearing filter masks in that house while that's going on, or do you evacuate and go somewhere else? But where do you go to? And it's the plan is knowing that everybody knows where you're going to go and how you're going to get to that location. So we talk about that in here in making your plan. And it also starts with fire drills in the home. Okay, how do you get out of your house in the event that there's a fire? The smoke detector goes off. What is your egress? And having 2 exits out of each room and knowing how to do that. And it's practicing that, and then we build that up to exiting the house. Okay, you're going to evacuate the house. What are 2 ways out of your neighborhood? Where can you meet at? Having a meeting location that's pre-established, okay, that everybody knows about where you're going to meet at. Because remember, in a significant event, cell phone service is going to most likely be down. So everybody needs to know beforehand of who's going to do what and where we can meet at. That's going to bring security to you, and you don't want the big unknown of not knowing where somebody's at or not knowing where they're going to go. You want to know that where everybody's going to go. Having those evacuation location meetup points. Okay, we talk about that in step 2. Having meeting places outside the home, neighborhood, outside of town, where you can meet at. Okay. Now, step 3 talks about your social support network. Okay, who around you can support you in your plan. Okay, and this is trying to expand your network too. You want to rely upon family and close friends, yes, but also your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors. That your neighbors could help you in the event of something happens. Okay, and also it builds up the relationship in the neighborhood, makes it stronger and better. So don't just think of people automatically that you know of, but also start to look outside of that. Okay, look to other staff members at the DTA. Look to them. Maybe you can combine resources in your plans that enables both of you to be at the facility, and you just strengthen your plan for your family and their family by working together. So that's very crucial, doing that. And that comes in also as talking with the DTA about those kind of things, of what you can do to support each other. Have this information all written down. That gets written in this little book. We go through, and you can have it all down. Also, one other thing is having a out-of-state contact person. Okay, somebody outside of this local area. The reason I say that is because typically when the communication systems go down, you're not able to make local calls, but sometimes you're able to make long-distance phone calls. Okay, out of state. So for us, my wife and my family, we have her sister lives out of state up in Oregon. She's our out of state contact person. So if something happens here and my wife and I aren't able to get a hold of each other or get a hold of our sons, we know, hey, call Christy up in Oregon. And Christy will become the little hub of communication, of sharing information with each other to let us know about each other and what's going on. So it's very crucial to have something like that. Okay, and you write all that information down in here. Okay, and step 4 is getting your disaster kit together. Sitting down and figuring out what are the things you're going to need to be self-sufficient for 96 hours. That's what FEMA wants. FEMA wants everybody, to be self-sufficient for 96 hours. So this applies to you and your family, but also the DTA. Like my son at his DTA, he needs to be self-sufficient there for 96 hours. So I'm looking at what are the things we need to have there for him to be self-sufficient. You need to look for your family. What do we need? Do you have a child or an individual in your family that has special medication that they have to have? Okay, make sure you always have 96 hours on hand. Okay, here's a little secret working with Arizona Long-Term Care. We use Fry's Pharmacy for my son's medication. Every 28 days, that prescription can be refilled. Okay, there's typically 30 and 31 days in a month. So if I go a couple months every 28 days, and this is picking up the medication, not just getting it refilled, but when you pick it up, I pick it up on that 28th day, now I have 2 days extra of medication. I do that the next month. Now I have 4 or 5 days worth of medication. Now I do it a third month in a row. 7 days. See how this is building up? So you can build up that reserve of having at least 4 days, if not a week's worth of medication. That's crucial, okay? You got to stay on top of that, okay? So think about other things that you need. Dietary issues, foods, also entertainment, especially like individuals with developmental disabilities, they like routine and they like the regular items, okay? So it's having those things on hand. Zachary, he loves Thomas the Tank Engine, okay? So we have to make sure we have books in his little trains for him to keep him content, and sometimes even to the point of having a laptop that he can watch DVDs on, so he can watch those occasionally, okay? If a significant event goes on and we're without power, at least we have the battery backup on the computer that gives us a few hours, if not, we can stretch it into a day or something like that. So we've even looked at, all right, maybe just getting a small generator for the house that can power a couple lights, fans, things like that. So you got to look through all the things that you're going to need. Okay, we talk more depth in that in this book. Okay, and then step 5 talks about putting your plan into action, practicing it, sharing it with other members, talking with people, how you can be involved in the community in preparedness, and letting the local fire department, your local emergency manager know about your plan and that you're ready. Also working with the Red Cross. All right, we're cruising through this real fast. Okay, now back on step 1. I mentioned earlier, is talking about your plan and the DTA's preparedness plan. Okay, you need to have some type of plan for yourself first, understanding what your plan is going to look like and what your needs are for you to have your family safe, know your family safe and secure before you're going to be able to be at the DTA. Hurricane Katrina went through, staff members bailed, okay? Over 50% bailed on their jobs. The reason being, because they wanted to make sure their families were safe and secure. Understandable. I get it, okay? I just want you guys to have a plan so that your family is safe and secure, so you can be at the DTA to care for this vulnerable population, this special population. So you need to talk to your DTA about these kind of things. How is the DTA going to contact you in the event something happens? And how can you communicate with them? Back and forth, okay? Here in Arizona, the DTAs have been authorized to use the Arizona Health Alert Network, okay? Your DTA will explain more about that. That's very crucial because it's a way that the DTAs can contact with you and their members, clients, and their support system too, all seamlessly and quickly. It's no more making individual phone calls to people. We can do it as a group, okay? So you have to look at what are some of the conflicts that are going to arise the DTA is asking you to do, and what you need, okay? And how do we resolve those conflicts that enable you to be there? We're working on, and we almost got it figured out, about extended care for these facilities and the staff being compensated to be there. Okay, so if you're there at the DTA caring for the clients and it's outside the normal 8 hours a day, okay, you can be compensated still, okay, for that time. So you're not just doing it out of the graces of your heart, which I know you would do, and I greatly appreciate it, but I want to make sure, as part of this project, is making sure that you do get compensated back. Okay? So how does the DTA plan support your plan, and how does your plan support the DTA's plan? It's working together with this. Okay? What adjustments can be made to both sides? And this is where you get to sit down, talk with your family, your support system, and then talk with your supervisor at the DTA to figure out how we can work things out. Okay? So that's pretty much it. That's a lot of information, and I told you I wanted to keep this at 15 minutes, and I'm right at that right now. So get a hold of me. Contact information is going to come up on a slide later on. If you've got questions about how this works, or how we can help you in your plan, or information that you got that you could share with other people in developing their plan, send it to me, okay? Because you guys are going to be making this work. Okay, you're the ones that are going to be making the DTAs able to care for this population, caring for my son in the event something happens, okay? And we want your family to be safe too, okay? So once again, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this, and thank you for working at the DTA and caring for this population. All right, bye.